Shout my hip hop since 1987, niggas. Hip hop since 1987.com.
What up, it's the Remix Kid, DJ Baby You hanging out right here at V103, my home, baby. And I'm hanging out with hip hop since 1987. Peace.
Live right now in Atlanta, V103, and I'm here right now with the Remix Kid himself. You may know him, I guarantee you. If you don't know him, you will know him after this interview. He goes by the name of DJ Baby You. What's going on, man? We appreciate you taking. I know you're a busy man.
Thank you for having me.
Man, thank you for being here with us right now. Like, you just gave us the, we had the opportunity and the pleasure of listening to a live mix on air, V103, with you and Big Tigger. You did your thing. So I gotta ask you, I noticed there was a blend of your modern music, some of your trap music, like the Migos and things like that. You also mixed it with the clips back in the day from Pharrell and things of that nature. I even noticed you bringing in some 80s and 70s music and whatnot. So what goes into your mind frame when you're mixing?
That's a good question. I don't know, man. It just comes up, comes naturally. I think growing up in Toronto, it's so diverse. It's such a diverse city, and I have friends from all over the place, from different cultures, and I told someone before, I've learned so many different types of genres of music through different types of people throughout their lives, and so because I absorbed all that in one, I think that's how everything comes together while I'm mixing. I can't even explain how everything comes up.
Well, that's dope. You just gave mention, being a native of Toronto,
right.
And whatnot. Toronto's getting a lot of love right now. Arguably one of the hottest acts in hip hop. Drake, he's from the Toronto area and whatnot. But you're down here in the A.
Yep.
So what actually motivated you or brought you down to Atlanta?
Well, one of the reasons, I was already working with AG Entertainment. I was coming out here 4 times a year before I moved. And so, he's already one of the biggest club owner promoters in Atlanta. So I knew that I was hooked up with him. And also, I know a lot of celebrities live out here, and I wanted to make the relationships, build the relationships, because they were coming out to Toronto performing, but then I wouldn't see them for a while. And then I'm like, you know what, I need to go somewhere in the US so they can hear me every day or see me every day. So, my opportunities were bigger in Atlanta than most other cities for me, so I chose Atlanta.
I can dig that.
Yeah.
Now you just gave mention to AG. For a lot of people who may be watching this that are not in Atlanta, there's a gentleman named Alex. Pretty much whoever your biggest club promoter in your city is, he's that times 10 in Atlanta and whatnot. So for this gentleman right here to be mixing in his venues, that definitely says something major right there. Now I gotta ask you and whatnot. You're also Young Jeezy's tour DJ. So how did that opportunity come about?
Man, it was last minute.
Okay.
Oh, I think one of his last DJs, I think things didn't work out with him, and that happened right before his tour was about to start.
Okay.
And I guess they were scrambling to, get a new DJ. And it wasn't a problem for him to get the right DJ, I think, but the opportunity came at the right time for me. My management was doing the whole entire Canadian tour for Jeezy, and they were already talking, and I've done parties for Jeezy already with Alex while I'm in Atlanta, so everybody knows each other, and obviously being on V103, that helped as well. So and then the conversation just happened, I don't know, just almost accidentally. My management was talking to him, and why don't you just use Baby You? And they're like, okay. And it just kind of made it happen in one day, and I was out. I was gone for 3-4 months.
Now being Asian and being in the hip hop world and whatnot, when you first entered the hip hop world, did you notice any racism? Were people treating you different? Did you feel like it was a harder ladder that you had to climb to show that you had talent and that you belonged to this plateau as well?
Actually, I don't know if there was direct racism where it hindered my career here, but I think it helped me a little bit, because when I did the hip hop events here, even though if the patrons didn't know who I was, they remember an Asian guy in an only African American spot, and it kind of worked out to my favor, I think.
I can dig that.
And then when even the radio show and stuff, there's still people that think that I'm not Asian. They think African American, and so when they see me, oh my God, wow, and then that's it helps them kind of hype up the whole thing. So I think it helped me more than anything.
I can definitely respect that.
Yeah.
Now you're not just a vet in the hip hop world, but you've also kind of crossed over, into the dubstep, the whole EDM world and whatnot. Now, I was asking you a moment ago, how do you feel as though those two worlds, the hip hop world and that electronic dubstep world, how do they coexist now? Because we see a lot of your trap rappers, your West Coast rappers, they're now digging into the crates and getting sounds that are being used in Europe and the dubstep with the dubstep movement. So how do you feel like those worlds are parallel?
You know what? I think the whole hip hop becoming pop, I think it started from there. And when 50 Cent first came out with his album, that's when I started noticing the movement of hip hop becoming more commercialized and more pop. And when because before that, hip hop was just loved by hip hop people.
So are you saying Get Rich or Die Trying, that 50 Cent album?
Like that era, around that, I'm not saying the album, but I'm just saying like that whole, around that era, Ja Rule, all that, it started becoming more commercialized because hip hop, rock, to all those different types. Dubstep existed for that long. Nobody really knew about it, but the underground people, like from UK and all that, they followed it. But that's what I'm saying. Like everything was so segregated musically, and now when that whole era of like 50 Cent, Ja Rule, all those people, that's when I started noticing everything started becoming more pop. And when that happened, even the patrons started listening to music from all sorts of different types of genres instead of just sticking to what they know and what they grew up listening to. And then because that was happening and all the younger kids just don't listen to one thing anymore, they like everything. Even hip hop people will watch a performance of Taylor Swift, no problem. It's before it was uncool, but now it's like whatever. So when that happens organically, then that means every artist, DJ have to grow with that as well.
Being as though different genres are merging so much, do you think we'll live in a generation where we see just we're classifying everything as music or creativity to a certain extent?
That's a hard question. I don't know. I can't answer that. I don't know. That's like one of my friends asking me, do you think we as humans hit our limit of becoming any smarter than we are today? And I'm like, I don't know. I'm like, what do you? I don't have the answers for these things. But for
I don't have the answers.
But I mean, I don't know. People still gonna like what they like, and certain segregation will happen with certain genres of music. But I don't know. To me, I just like the way how music is today. Just everything. Everybody loves everything, and that makes it easier for me to be more diverse because I am a diverse DJ. And then I just don't have to kind of concentrate on just one thing, and I could just do my own thing, just put my whole entire, just like how you asked about my mixes, how do you come up with all these random things? Then because everyone likes everything, now my random things work and people can like it, so it works out for me, and that's why I like it too.
Now you gave mention about diversity and wanting to do multiple things. You're more than just a DJ. I understand you did some work with Jay Z and Kanye as far as their Watch the Throne tour is concerned. Can you elaborate on that for me?
When their Watch the Throne tour started, it started in Atlanta. They had 2 shows here, and actually I was out of town. I had to do a show in Vancouver, so I had to pre-record my morning show and my afternoon show. And I think they heard my morning show, I guess, going somewhere. Maybe they just landed, they're going to the hotel, and that's when I think Kanye and Jay heard my mix, and Kanye flew me out to their 4th show in Greensboro, and he had me out there just to talk about how he could make his concert better. And it was weird because I'd never seen a concert, and I'm like, I don't know how much I could really contribute to this, but we can have a conversation. And actually helped because just being with Kanye, and I've been with him before doing mixtapes and whatnot before he came out, so it was like kind of like a reunion. But I learned something that helped me grow with Jeezy. I came with Jeezy with a whole plan, like different plans like this. Like he was overwhelmed because he's never seen this stuff. Like his shows was all over the place before, and so I gave him a plan of how we should do a story for your concert, and not the old regular hip hop show that everyone's used to with gunshots and sirens in the background. Let's make it like a club show, make it flow better, this and that. This remix, while you're rapping with different beats around. He was like, okay, we did it, and it was a rap. Like people, like there were guys that used to book him for 10 years and said this was the best show I've ever seen him do. And that was the combination of me and him working together to make this great show.
Now we're pretty much closing out the year 2013. We'll be moving into the first quarter in a few weeks. What can we expect from you going into 2014 and beyond?
Production. I mean, I'm going deep into production. Right now, concentrating, doing a lot of remixes, with songs and hits that are out there. I'm just going to remix it and give it my own feel towards it, kind of build upon that, and then hopefully throughout the mid-year have a single and also kind of gear towards it, making an EP for like the last part of 2014. So, and hopefully in between that I'll be working with artists and whatnot. So that's my goal.
If people want to check out the mixes that you've done or mixes you're doing in the future, or reach you via social media, why don't you let them know where they can contact you?
Hit me up at babyu.com. Everything's on there. All my remixes, all my mixes, videos, everything. So if you want to get at me, hit me up. babyu.com.
Y'all know what it is. Hip hop since 1987. We in the building. Shout out to Baby U. Make sure y'all check him out if you're in the Atlanta area. V103 every Monday through Friday, 5 o'clock.
5 o'clock, 7 a.m. and Saturday at 12.
There you have it. Y'all heard what it is.
Hip hop since 1987.com. Log on.